there's a pretty big difference too. AJ is walking into a young quarterback situation who's emerging, where Randy Moss was walking into a situation with an established, incredibly well-respected, incredibly accomplished quarterback. And I'm not saying Drake can't become that, but it's different. And Randy at that point had some sourness in terms of the experience he had, and then you could say the same thing for AJ in Philadelphia, but a little bit different in terms of how it's all transpired. And there can be some problems with a guy like AJ and as strong a personality as he has at this point in his career, going into a situation with a young quarterback that to me is going to merit looking after. And if you look at the production from Stephon Diggs to A.J. Brown, if we can bring this up, I mean, Stephon had a pretty amazing year last year, and statistically, they were very similar in terms of overall production. So it's not like you're bringing a guy that had knocked it out of the park. And I guess, again, we could look at it as his down year was a function more of dysfunction in Philadelphia as opposed to him not being able to get to the 1,400-yard mark.
Yeah, I think I would be surprised, stunned if he caused problems in New England. Like the same types he did in Philadelphia. Like if he's complaining about not getting the ball, reading a book on the sideline, just because, one, he's going to clearly be beyond the number one target. Like they're going to go to him often. Obviously, he's got a better passing quarterback than he had in Philadelphia with Hurts. And then with his relationship with Vrabel, like if he acted up, I wouldn't know what to say. I would just be like this, he's just going to be a problem wherever he's at. I get it in Tennessee when he was with Vrabel, he wasn't this A.J. Brown. He wasn't the A.J. Brown, the superstar. He was a guy that a lot of people didn't know of, and he was building himself into a star. So I get that that's a difference. But I think it's going to be a great duo. I think A.J. Brown's going to have a phenomenal individual season, and I think the Patriots' passing game is going to be great with him and Drake. But the only step, team-wise, like the only step is to win the Super Bowl. I don't think they're going to get as far as they got last year. They may be a better team.
All right, so So I don't know that, because when you I didn't see that graphic, and I don't know if I was as,
You're not enamored by this?
No, because guess what Devontae's numbers look like there. Prime Devontae Adams with any offensive coordinator. Guess what Brandon Marshall's numbers look like there. Prime Brandon Marshall with any offensive coordinator. Randy, to me, as much credit as I'd love to give Josh McDaniels for that year, that was perfect storm everything Patriots.
And Josh McDaniels is a big part of that.
If I were power ranking credit for the 07 Pats and the Brady Moss connection, he's probably fourth or fifth name I'm going to mention. That's fine.
Remember, Devontae didn't have a quarterback when he put up those numbers either.
No, I understand, but Devontae is a future Hall of Famer, super productive player. Brandon, I think, is kind of forgotten how dominant some of his numbers are across the board. Randy's year is the greatest wide receiver year arguably ever. Jerry Rice in, I think, 88 or 89 has something to say about it. And Wes Welker was, who you didn't mention, but was 1,000+ yards for a long time with the Pats and with the Broncos. Not with the Dolphins. With the Pats, he was amazing with the Broncos. So to me, the question is twofold. One is, why was last year the second least productive year of A.J. Brown's career? His second lowest yards, second lowest touchdowns, and the lowest yards per carry. Was that dysfunction, didn't want to be there, or was that a slightly declining player, and usually a slightly declining player continues to decline? Because he's only 29, I lean towards didn't want to be there. Bad offensive system, he'll bounce back.
Yeah.
I think it's obvious that A.J. Brown was a major source of dysfunction. And you could say that the Philadelphia Eagles were a problem and all this type of stuff. That's all well and good. But if A.J. Brown, because even if you just watch the film, right, you can see that he's not winning off the line. His contested catch rate plummeted, which is going to be on the receiver to get out. Like, look at the effort of A.J. Brown and look at the effort of Puka Nacua. Okay? Like, that shows you effort right then and there. Nothing to do with the quarterback who's throwing it to you. It's like, are you getting after it? And the reality is that if you just draw the conclusion that A.J. Brown isn't declining, well, then it's pretty pathetic that he just, like, was not putting in the effort no matter who your quarterback is, no matter how unhappy you are on Sunday, on Monday, on Thursday, you put in the effort. You put in the effort. And so although I do think if he's happier and he's in New England and he's with Vrabel and Drake May, he'll put in a higher level of effort, but that still tells you a lot about who A.J. Brown is. Again, I don't care how unhappy you are, that's an embarrassment. And that's a disgrace. That's an absolute disgrace. And every teammate will be like, they know it, they see it. And it's just bad. There's no other way around it. Comparing this to Randy Moss is absolutely insane. And what Tom Brady and Randy Moss were able to do. It's delusional. I think A.J. Brown is going to have a ton of success with Drake May and the New England Patriots. I will credit Josh McDaniels plenty. Like, I know Nick is trying to downplay him right here. Because surprise, surprise, coaching only matters for the Kansas City Chiefs, except for when it doesn't, because when you want to elevate Mahomes or not help give anyone else any excuses for, it's just, again, I can never keep up. But now apparently Josh, is not a quality coach to be able to help make this all work, which sure makes complete sense, I guess. But with that said, yes, I still think most of the credit goes to Randy Moss and Tom Brady together because it's literally Tom Brady. And I'm sorry, Drake May in year 3 is not Tom Brady. Okay? I am super excited for who Drake May is going to become. I am mega, mega, mega high on Drake May. I just, the moment I saw him, get out there, I was excited to see what he could become. He's not 2007 Tom Brady. He's just not 2007 Tom Brady. So like this comp is just it's just kind of silly, kind of absurd. And yeah, I mean, Diggs and AJ Brown, like a graphic like this, I understand if we just look at the production at the floor, or just on the base level, right? Just straight stats. They're fundamentally different players and looking to do different things in any given moment, and they'll be utilized differently. I think Diggs was really impressive, but yeah, I mean, I'm just not too concerned about it. Even if we just look at targets a game, receptions a game, right? If you want to say that AJ Brown, because look, he got 6 targets and 5 catches. AJ got 8 targets, 5 catches. If you just kind of say, oh, well, in this system, he'll be targeted more than Diggs, and therefore we can probably add a couple extra receptions a game, maybe 2 or 3. That's like another 36 yards right there. That's over. That now that math checks out to being essentially a little over, maybe a little under. No, a little over. No, a little under. Right around 100 yards or so. Okay, that's great. Are you kidding me? That's great. Right, that'll come down to be essentially maybe a little under 40 more yards a game than Diggs got. Not only is Drake May going to be a better quarterback just because it's, one more year in the league now, but you're now potentially just getting more production out of said receiver. And I do think A.J. Brown is going to be motivated to be as dominant as he humanly possibly can be. I think he is absolutely going to go all in and put all the effort. I think it was very clear in hindsight when you look back that A.J. Brown was not giving 100% effort, which again is an absolute disgrace. Make no mistake about it. You could be a New England Patriots fan and be so excited that A.J. Brown is getting here. And you could point fingers and laugh at Philadelphia. He goes, ha ha, bah. It's an absolute joke. And it's absolutely pathetic. Make no mistake about it. It's absolutely 100% indefensible. If you played for the Cleveland Browns, if you played for the Minnesota Vikings, if you played for the Arizona Cardinals, I understand. I actually do. I don't agree with it, and I want to do it. And if I was a teammate, I'd be furious and upset. If I was management, GM, quarterback, whatever, yeah. But I as from a human being perspective, I can understand it. For the Philadelphia Eagles, coming off a Super Bowl win, I don't care how unhappy you are with your quarterback. I don't care how unhappy you are with the coordinating and the coaching staff. Doing that is an absolute disgrace. So it's just going to be so interesting to see what does his actual, not stat production, but his quality of play individually. Do you see him winning offline? Do you see him getting separation? Do you see him, making more difficult contested catches? His contested catch rate plummeted. And if memory serves me correctly, it was like greater than 20% difference between AJ and Puka, right? And it's just like, that's not on Jalen Hurts. That's not on Kevin Patullo. That is on the man in the mirror. So it's just like, and again, you could say, well, is he just getting weaker? Is he not as good as he once was? Is he declining? Or was it just that, he's an emotional player, didn't feel like putting in the effort? There you go, right? And it's like, especially since he requested a trade request, but then he didn't get it. So is he just kind of being like, fine, you didn't want to trade me, then I'm not playing, right? Like, it could be so many different things, which is just obnoxious. Just from an entertainment perspective, if you're just a football fan, you should be disgusted by that, because like, you're here for entertainment. You want to see the players give it their all and play their best. So, I think it's probably somewhere, maybe potentially in the middle, where he's clearly not going to be the same version he was in 2022. But will he be a better version of himself in 2025? I do believe that. And then just from a statistical standpoint, yeah, I believe he will be fed the ball way more than he's ever had in his entire career. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what that actually looks like from a production and statistical standpoint. But calling this Randy Moss, Tom Brady is just, I'm sorry, that's delusional. And this is coming from the guy who defended and supported the Patriots and saying, stop crying about the schedule and Drake May's the MVP and all of that. So, again, don't come at me and be like, oh, you're just scared that the Patriots are going to be great. And that is absolute utter nonsense. Go watch every single take I had every single week last season with the New England Patriots, right? And there's no fear. If anything, there's only excitement, all right? But saying that this is Randy Moss, 2007, Tom Brady, that is just delusional. That is just delusional and absurd. Okay? And, if he puts up similar statistics that he put up in 2022 with Jalen Hurts and AJ, AJ and Jalen together, was that Randy Moss? Right? It's just like, what's the bar that we're then setting up here? But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about AJ Brown and the hype with the New England Patriots? Are you feeling, listen, you're a fan. You're watching this video, that means you're probably a real deep fan of the New England Patriots. And so maybe you were younger, maybe you remember very vividly Randy Moss, Tom Brady. Is this the vibes that feels like? Is this the energy that you're picking up right now? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.